what is this? RC Tech or RCTE copyright. Thank you for becoming a member, and shout out to Grace for pulling up for sure. So as we said, or as I just said, make sure you guys like this and share this with at least a couple people for sure. So to kind of set the tone, just so that you all are and everybody that's watching is aware of kind of the update. Courtney Clenny pleaded guilty to manslaughter, and she just obviously reached a plea deal. But this apparently, obviously, she was a former OnlyFans model known as Courtney Taylor. She accepted this plea deal with the Miami-Dade County Court, entirely avoiding the second-degree murder trial that was scheduled to begin later in the month. In the plea deal, reportedly, the prosecutors have dropped the original charge of second-degree murder in exchange for her pleading guilty to a reduced charge of manslaughter with a deadly weapon. The judge was Andrea Ricker Wolfenson, and originally she was sentenced Clenny to 6 years in state prison. Due to time served, it's looking like her legal team was able to estimate that she'll be getting just an additional 18 to 20 months, with roughly 2 more years behind bars before her release. So, gentlemen, in light of all the high profile cases that we've actually been covering, I'm very interested to hear what you guys have to say. We had the most recent case with Carmelo Anthony and the stabbing and him getting 35 years for what he was claiming self-defense. I'm gonna see if I can actually find the clip of somebody who did speak out about that, and I'm hearing two different perspectives of one of how could he get 35 and she get 6 years, which is really just about another 2 more years or so. Um, and other people are saying, well, there's a noticeable difference in the legality of why one went in this direction and the other went in that direction. So anybody can kind of jump off and start with what y'all thought when y'all saw this, and even just the general reaction of maybe people who are blaming him for being with a white girl. We'll cover all that different stuff. So.
That's what I was going to touch on first. Is everyone's like, oh, it's because he's with a white girl. Nah, we've seen brothers get killed by black women, white women. It's women, period. You know what I mean? These modern women are running dudes over with cars and hitting them with bricks and all types, stone cold stunners and all types of foolishness. So it's just women in general at this point. You know what I mean? So the race thing, I think, is a real non-factor. And she was from Miami, right? I mean, come on, she's a Miami girl. What do you expect? What do you expect? You know, come on, man.
I'm not gonna go that far to say everybody in Miami dangerous, but I know what you said, AJ, about you don't think that race was a factor at all. Do you think it's a factor after the fact, after it happens, how the legal system tends to operate with this stuff?
Probably because I look at the language that's being used. So the news report that you said, they said stabbing death of and not the murder of. You look at the subtle use of language that's being used. If that was a black woman, they'd have said murder and brutal killing, etc. They always soften the language when it's a white woman. So, and even when they were still trying to not go all the way with painting her as this horrible villain, even though she's smirking and laughing at the camera and hee ha ha. They still use softening language. And why does that Nancy Grace still have that Karen cut from the 2000s? Yeah, isn't it 2026? Yeah. You still have that Karen cut going on now. Come on now.
That is hilarious. What about the rest of y'all? What y'all think?
I just don't understand how she got 6 years. I get it, she pled. But a couple things I don't understand why she had to unalive him. Like stab him. Like what was the cause?
Well, I mean, they showed that they had a pattern of domestic violence. That this isn't their first skirmish. I don't know if it was always her being the initiator. Like a lot of DV cases, they actually do end up like this. If they don't end up separating or somebody getting arrested, eventually somebody's going to actually get injured.
Those videos seem like she was the aggressor.
Just the ones we saw, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, is there any other? Have y'all seen any videos where he looked like he's? Because we seen what men look like when they're the aggressor, and it's really obvious. But the ones that we just saw in the opening of this show, clearly seemed like he was trying to defend himself.
Yeah.
And then I wish if they had history of domestic violence, what was it about? Was it about her seeing some other man or him cheating? Like, I can't think of when you dating an OnlyFans model. I can't think of no other reason to fight with each other, unless it's got something to do with somebody else on the outside sexually. I'm sorry, I've been on TikTok a little long.
Yeah. I don't know, man. And again, it's the case when it comes to people who have like mental health issues or people that are just abusive. I don't even know if they always need a reason. They'll make a reason. Just they'll see things that aren't there. They'll be triggered by things. It's like the whole growing up with an abusive parent. Is it every time you did something wrong? Probably not. A lot of times it's just they're set up in such a way where you're just the one that's walking on eggshells. It did look like, from what you said, he looked like he was scared of her.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I know we had the body count issue last time. We talked about the body count. Y'all think it's because of all of the partners she had?
I don't know if we can't go to
that. No, man, we had a whole PowerPoint.
Nah, we can't. Well, no, I'm just saying that, like, the idea of wondering what was kind of setting it off. I'm interested in that too. But again, I'm always interested, and we talked about it before with the domestic violence cases where men stay. This was another example of a dude that kept staying despite how dangerous she was and how it ended up costing him his life. But Darwin, what do you think about the interracial component with people that do the whole, when something bad happens and and you're in an interracial or with a white girl, that's why it happened, or they basically blame you for saying it happened because you're in an interracial relationship. What are your thoughts about that?
I think it's a disingenuous angle to take, unless you can map a correlation to a high frequency of these type of incidents whenever it comes to interracial dating. But I don't know. I didn't see a lot of black women coming out of the woodwork on Shade Room trying to protect her like they protected. What's the girl that was in Tanzania or whatever? They got unalived by the white.
Ashley Janae.
Yeah, they wasn't holding the flags up and the signs, and they didn't get the pitchforks and light fires and stuff and go to the streets like they did. I guess because this guy maybe wasn't FBA, maybe.
I think it's because
he's Nigerian. Yeah. Maybe black women was like, okay, hands off. He's not FBA.
I'll be honest with you. Like, when it comes to DV cases, I don't actually remember a single case that was a domestic violence case where women ever really was like cared if it was a black man, or if that makes sense. I don't think I've ever once, like, if it was involving the police, a lot more people might have jumped up. But like a DV case, whether it was a black woman or white or something in between, I don't recall that ever.
I don't want to jump out too early and say, okay, this is a sign, don't date OnlyFans, and then penalize everybody who's OnlyFans as if they're gonna have a domestic violence issue, because some people will do that. They'll be like, oh, she was OnlyFans, that's the reason why he killed her. Like, I don't know.
Well, she killed him. Yeah. There is an argument that people will make. They did it with Shannon Sharp, where he was dealing with an OnlyFans chick. And I think the argument is there's an increased likelihood of potential volatility that people think with people who live certain lifestyles. If you're dealing with sex workers, OnlyFans people, maybe people think like they're already walking that moral blurry line where they don't care about certain social cues. So it's not impossible, I think.
And the last comment before you move, I will say that I would rather lean on this. Because she was so good at what she do, hint, it'll make a man tolerate more, which would put him in danger. So because of her skill set as an OnlyFans sex worker, increase the likelihood of a man that will stay through abuse. So I think that's something I would rather run with, and I'll yield.
You really think so, Darwin? You think that she has such superlative skills
in the areas of OnlyFans. that was the hook. Like Al Pacino and The Godfather. Just when I'm out, she pulls me back in. That's what you think is going on there.
We've all been there, though. Come on, y'all. We can't cap. You guys have had that crazy one, and then you end up with that post-nut clarity, and you're like, "What have I done? Why am I here again?" And it's because she lays it down on you good.
I tell you what, build up that willpower. I got to be careful with this because although this happened many moons ago when I was a rambunctious young lad, but there was a situation in my past where the bedroom experience was really all of that. But she was so batshit crazy that I just looked in the mirror one day. So, you know what? I got to get out of here. So what I did, I left. I had about maybe $5,000 worth of stuff in her house. I just left it there. I didn't even go back. I did an Amityville Horror. You know the Amityville Horror? They said that things got so bad that the whole family just left and never came back. They didn't move anything. They just left it. It's boom, they out. I did an Amityville Horror. I just left the stuff there. You know what? You can keep it, burn it. You want to do the what's her name? Angela Bassett. She does the in Waiting to Exhale. She takes all the stuff and burn it up. Great. You want to do that? That makes you feel good. Got it. I never went back. I don't understand why guys just don't do that. They just look in the mirror. That's what I remember the day I did.
I can't do that.
I said, you know what?
I did that one time.
I gotta get out of here.
I left some expensive sneakers, like 4 or 5, and I didn't go back. And I saw her boyfriend wearing them. I would never do that again.
Oh, really? No. Oh no, guys!
I thought she was gonna give them back. I'm taking all my shit next time.
Damn.
Well, if I could just say, there was a documentary that I saw. It was in Australia, and I'll try and find the link and send it to you. It was a woman in Australia, and she had to struggle to start the very first Australian men's domestic violence shelter because her son was like a 6'5", 250-pound dude who was with this like 120-pound, 5'1" girl who was abusing him. And he was like, "It's okay, Mama. She won't hurt me. She won't hurt me." And finally, this girl, they say she was so mad, she jumped on him and had like a full butcher knife. And she was hitting him so hard, it went through his body and into the wood floor. And she deleted him. And she said it just escalated and escalated and escalated. The cops didn't do anything. And what people don't realize is nobody thought that he would, the concept of him not being here because of her was in nobody's mind, not the cops, not even in hers or anything. And then she started doing the research and see women abusers, they always escalate. They always escalate because they get angry that they can't physically hurt you. And then I don't know if you guys know this, but when us men, when we're boys, we play around, we roughhouse, we're actually learning the practical application of force. Yeah. So if we're all roughhousing on the playground, doing fake, stone cold stunners on each other, we're saying, "Hey, look, Dave is my friend, so I'm gonna hit him this hard. But if someone's coming at me, I'll hit him this hard." Women don't socialize that. So oftentimes they'll pick up a pan, and I'm not trying to excuse it and say that she didn't know what she was doing. What I'm saying is they will jump to a higher use of force or a force multiplier faster because they don't have that concept of incremental use of force.
Right.
That's why you see some of these chicks will run a dude over, or they'll grab like a rolling pin and hit a dude, and they're like, "I didn't mean it." I'm not trying to say that she's without fault, but in these cases, though, men, we don't go for a force multiplier like a brick or a bat unless we're getting jumped. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, we throw hands. Well, these young bucks now, they be pulling guns. But what I'm saying is we usually will throw hands, but women they don't realize if you're picking up a bat, that's a whole new ball game. So I don't know why this guy was in this relationship. I don't know why he was there for this long when it was documented that she was attacking him. I think there was some mental health thing.
He probably loved her, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, probably combo love, fear.
It could have been that. It could have been that OnlyFans skill set. That could have something to do with it.
Dave, what about you?
Maybe
First
she
of
was
all,
doing the OnlyFans, suction move.
Dave, go ahead, sir.
I'm just saying. I mean, she could have been doing that. You know, the OnlyFans suction move.
Go ahead, Dave.
I'm gonna try now. I just want to make sure Obsidian was done. All right. A couple of quick things. To your point, Jeff, about you know, Christian Toby Obomsele, or however the hell you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
He went out of his way to disrespect, disparage, discourage, and downright insult every single foundational Black American woman on the face of the planet.
Uh-oh.
Therefore, I do not expect somebody who had well documented tweets and posts and so on and so forth disparaging Black women to, you know, expect for them to come save him, because he never held them in any type of high regard. That's point number one. Point number two, Mr. Ubumseli is in fact a what I would consider to be a tether. Not because he is a foreign-born Black person, but he is a tether in his behavior because his behavior was disrespectful to my people. Third, not in all cases, because there are no absolutes in the universe, but a lot of these non-foundational Black American men tend to hold white women in such high regard they can't see the forest for the trees, and he didn't think that he was in any danger. And because he's fetishized as that big Black African, not unlike Shannon Sharp, to your point, where that white woman said, yeah, I need you to go ahead and put a big Black baby in me. He was so busy getting his stink in the pink that he didn't take a look at what was happening. And he just, you know what I mean, didn't have his head on a swivel. I feel sorry for him, but I'm not surprised. And sometimes it's kind of like, you ever hear, I got to watch how I say this because there's too many sensitive people here, but back in my day, not to sound like an old man, but back in my day, we had Freaknik, we had the Greek picnic up here in Philly. There was always that one girl who wanted to talk about her rights. And I'm all about a woman's right to wear whatever it is that she wants to wear. I have a right as a person who is allergic to bee venom to not get stung. I should be able to walk outside and not get stung. The problem is the bee doesn't give a goo-gow fart about my rights. It's gonna sting. Thus, I carry an EpiPen. People who understand what I just said understand what I just said.
So I just looked it up with what you said. And yeah, I actually did. I forgot that I had actually saw some of this and I didn't see I'm sure it was even more posts related to it. The stuff that he had reportedly said, things like Black girls are born knowing how to shake their ass. Me, honestly,
these are actual remarks from the deceased.
Allegedly,
correct.
Yeah, allegedly those were some of the remarks that he said on various platforms. Honestly, I don't care. They not my type. Because I talk to Black girls when I don't. White titties are greater than Black titties. Just saying. Wow.
I mean, obviously he had a preference, a strong preference.
That's putting
more than a preference, brother. This is crazy.
I mean,
now that's what you call a fetish, an addiction, and idol worship. But I'm with you, Darwin. Yeah, but let's go with preference. That's short.
The reason why I want to call it preference, because I think it's contingent on who he dates and have sex with. I don't know if it's if it overlaps with who he interact with and choose to be friends with and choose to work with, choose to collab with, all that other stuff. And he's just strictly white across the board. Because I've seen men do that. I've seen men work with Black women, hang out with Black people, do everything across the board. But when it came to getting them cheeks, they just wanted a white girl. So I called it a preference in terms of dating and relationships.
But what makes it different when you have men and women that engage in this type of stuff? Like Ashley Janae said similar stuff about Black men, and we remember I remember people saying like resting your preference and resting preference and like all that stuff. So
not resting preference.
It's true when they say resting preference.
Yeah.
So like when people take it past, this just happens to be what I'm attracted to, or I'm talking to somebody who just happens to be a different race. when they go past that to like disparage the group that they look like, is that still considered preference, or is that like something even more than that?
The
It's
therapist
most
is
definitely
asking us
preference, but
this.
it's
Yeah, I
oh,
want
go
to.
ahead, Dave. My bad.
No, I was just saying the therapist is asking us this. I think it's a deep-seated self-hate.
Mhm.
And on top of that, like even if you want evidence, right? You can look at a lot of those types of people and the way that they carry themselves, the way that they act. Hell, I remember watching the episode of 90 Day Fiance, and there was an African guy named Michael, and Michael was trying to get his K1 visa. And when he finally got it, he was like, Donald Trump, I come to say, oh, like they love him. They love him in a way that, like I just lost my dog last week. I was
Oh, wow.
devastated behind that. And I love that little white bitch. I love Sadie, but I also understood that Sadie would sometimes bark, and if I moved a certain way, she was going to run, jump up on me, attack. I still got bite marks from when Sadie bit me, but I understood the best thing I could do for that white bitch is put her in her place, and that's exactly what I did. They don't understand that because they have such a blind allegiance to them because they think that they are somehow better, they are somehow supreme. Like even you see that sickness with some of these foundational Black American brothers when they hit a certain status or they're poor and they need somebody to take care of them, i.e., the people of Walmart, white women, the ones that if those of us that have certain means and status would never touch.
Yeah.
They do that because there's an adoration there that goes beyond just, oh, I think she's pretty and this is what turns me on. This is, oh, I get the forbidden fruit. Oh, that's what it is. It's very creepy. It's very weird, and I think it's kind of obsessive. But you, the therapist, that's just my regular Negro opinion.
Yeah, look, again,
I
when
got a
it comes to
different
stuff
perspective
like
on it.
this,
Yeah.
well, one, I don't know who, outside of people who specialize in doing like work relating to race. I don't know if anyone's like really an expert on like the psychology of why people think this way and why they go to such lengths. Like just date who you want to date, sleep with who you want to sleep with. I'm always interested. And shout out to Bebe. She says he is a perfect example of F around and find out for
You
sure.
better thank a YouTube member.
But also, I see what she said, and I actually want to park here. She says FBA women didn't ride with him after the insulting Twitter posts were revealed. The problem is, I've never heard or seen them ride for any Black man that was involved in a DV case involving a woman of any race.
Yeah, it didn't matter. So we can
Yeah.
take the FBA
Like,
thing out of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I think that's a great excuse today, but there's plenty of cases that come about all the time, and usually it's silence or it's almost blaming the man for getting himself in that situation in the first place. So, I unfortunately, this it may be true in this instance, but it's typically not true in a lot of them. I don't think female violence is viewed as a serious thing by a lot of women. That's to be
No,
honest. Yeah.
because they're allowed to get away with it.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I don't see the energy. I don't like what's his name? Jonathan Majors, right? He once they found out that she was white, there was no rocking with him or we want him to keep his job. They was like, F him. He's dismissed. We're done with him. And it was like, and that's what you get for dealing with a white girl. So it's a weird thing where it's like the problem I have with this is this guy that we just showed these quotes about. You treat Black men that have never said anything about negative about Black women, they react and respond and treat or view these men almost in the same category to me.
Same category, same
Same
energy.
category, right? Like I don't eat like what Dave is saying is like, listen, man, he was disparaging the Black community or black women and therefore the Black community, da 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 da. But I'm not going to let us get away from the fact of they tend to be dismissive and judgmental, irrespective of whether or not that man has ever said anything about Black women or not. And if he's in an interracial relationship, if he's with a Black woman, if he's Hispanic, if he's with white, if he's a man and he's involved in domestic dispute with I'll give you an example. Sha'Carri Richardson, right?
Yeah. In the airport.
In the airport.
Mhm.
Sha'Carri Richardson, the entire video that we saw, she was the aggressor. She was the initiator. She tried to get him arrested when the cops pulled up. And you never heard Black women saying, oh, we can't support her no more. We got to be done with her. We got to cancel her.
She didn't even lose her sponsorships.
She didn't even lose her sponsorships, and they didn't demand that she did.
So what does this all mean?
I think what it means. I think what I'm getting at is, it doesn't matter if the black man that's involved in a DV case with any type of woman, whether it's her race, whether she's the same race, different race, whatever. I don't think most women have the ethics or morality to actually care. I don't even think
so it doesn't matter whether it's a black woman, white woman. If the man is doing, if the black man is doing anything wrong,
you're cooked.
There's disdain.
There's a UFC fighter and he's a former champ, Jamal Hill. He and his brother got in a fight and he got arrested for DV because he punched his brother. You know, he got arrested and it said UFC champion Jamal Hill arrested for domestic violence in the headline. And of course, everyone went straight to, oh, he must have beat up his wife. They went and beat up his kids. And he had to actually put out a statement saying, look, my brother and I got in a fight, but everyone was just coming at him like, oh, he beats women, blah, 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 blah. They didn't even give him the benefit of the doubt. They didn't even actually look and see this story. It even had his brother's picture, but of the way they made the story seem, and then his whole Twitter feed and everything was, oh, you're a woman beater. And that was like 3 years ago. And people still call him all types of crazy names.
Is it even a race thing? Is it just women, period? Anytime a man do something wrong, she's going to have disdain, even if it's no proof behind it?
I think it's...
didn't that happen with, what's the dude from Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, Johnny Depp. Yeah, he was guilty before he even got into the courtroom. And then comes to find out
about race. It's a gender war, right?
But Darwin, do you guys think, though, I think the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case, it really, really did open the door for things to kind of swing back towards men. Not all the way, but that was such a milestone event.
Yeah, so high profile. Yeah.
Yes, that it actually gave us a fighting chance a little bit. If that
and it was Johnny Depp too. Yes, so you couldn't use, I was an incel or he's a loser or no, it was Johnny Depp.
But Amber Heard was such a bad person, and there were so many women who went from hating Johnny Depp to support. You couldn't even say her name and his name on YouTube without getting dinged back during that trial. 2020, 2021, you had to say AH and JD. That's how crazy that trial was. My point is, I noticed that after Johnny Depp kind of made his way out of that is when men can actually start to have a conversation or even have a way to defend ourselves. Before, it was believe all women. The first thing that kind of busted that little hole in that believe all women was the Johnny Depp case.
Did they take what they said back against Stefan Diggs with his cook?
Nah, like, you know what it is with Stefan? And I'm going to give it this. He's been involved in so many insane situations every 2 to 3 months where it was like, while people were still reacting to the chef, he had other incidents and other accusations with a male, with other women being pregnant, him and Cardi B having fallen out. And this was all in the last like 8 months. So he was probably one of those. He was one of those outliers where it was like, Oh, and everybody that's currently watching, again, if you haven't done so, welcome to another episode of The Men's Table. Feel free to like this. Make sure that you share it with at least 1, 2, or even 3 people. And feel free to hit that super chat button if you haven't done so. Thank you, RC Tech, or RCT Copyright for the $15. Blessings to the panel and the chat. Who else we got? FU2. Thank you for the $5. There were tweets of the victim calling Black Americans a kata, shitting on Black women and praising white women. His family apologized for his tweets. First of all, I know this happened a couple years ago, but I gotta know, man, for the people, regardless of any race, but especially people who are Black, when y'all posting this stuff and leaving it up on the internet indefinitely, I was like, why don't y'all? I don't know why people don't go back and try to delete these things. Why do y'all think people just really leave this stuff up? Like, that's just stupid.
You see with that woman that tried to run for Wisconsin governor, the Asian chick, and all these, and all these Democratic socialists, they are trying to backtrack from all their 2020, 2021 tweets You know what I mean? All of them, because they were posting all types of craziness on Twitter. And it's like y'all didn't think to maybe go back and scrub some of that stuff before you actually try to run for office. But Jeff, if I could say this, so I'm from Seattle, so we have a thing called yellow fever, and they're those white dudes that only date Asian chicks. It's creepy. They drive like a Honda Civic with the fart can exhaust. They watch anime. You know what I'm saying? But they only date Asian chicks, and it's creepy. You know what I'm saying? Now. They don't, however, disparage white women, right? It's creepy, but then there's that extra step. Whereas the people that we're talking about, like this guy, they would be like the yellow fever dudes, but taking the extra step to disparage their own kind. Do you see the difference there?
Yeah.
So like, the yellow fever dudes, they do all the creepy stuff, but they just don't take that extra step.
Interesting. And FU2 says Christian's brother Jeffrey acknowledged a post on social media. He stated that the family strongly disagreed with the ignorant and repulsive high school tweets for sure. Yeah. Black girls were not my type. Damn. Yeah, man. Somebody said me too. I wonder what that's in reference to. And real quick, I wanted to ask y'all and let me hold on. I see another super chat. Still human made. Thank you, good sir, for the $100 holla banger. I've seen enough in the West to conclude that most modern women lack the foundation needed, making them dangerous for men who aren't strong-willed. Too many men won't hold women accountable, while Western culture often penalizes men who challenge or correct women. Jeff, thank you, Still Human Made, for the $100 super chat. And I think I had, what was his name? Damn it. The 10 Man, he was on and he was talking, and I think he went over the studies that showed, and it's going to sound bad what I'm about to say, when women get more rights in society, domestic violence rates go up, female initiated.
Really?
Their rights are correlated with their aggression in domestic violence cases.
Wow.
It's very interesting. The more rights and the more freedoms that women have, the more violent they actually are likely to become.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. While we're on, I'm going to see if I can actually look it up and pull up.
I want to look more into that. That's very interesting. I'm familiar with the 10 Man. I've seen him with Chris Williamson, and I did catch a little bit of your conversation with him, but I didn't know that as women get more enfranchised with rights and so on and so forth, that DV rates rise commiserate with that. Now that's very interesting.
Absolutely. And again, he is the largest collector / database collector of gender related studies, especially pertaining to male violence, male issues, the whole nine. So he has a huge database on this stuff. So, he told me about it and he mentioned it on his platform. I just got to see if I can find it. So that's, one, that's a pretty interesting thing for sure. And then number two, I think I actually saw some more full of ignorant Black women. Akata. Yeah, now there we go. And first of all, Dave, when they always be denying and saying that nobody be really calling us this. Well, this is back in 2012, mind you.
Wow. Right. And then on top of that,
this isn't anything new.
If you watch Godfrey's 154 podcast, Akbar Jabashramil, I can't say his last name. He was saying that, he knew plenty of people that were saying that when he was younger, and he's, not too much younger than I am. So the term Akata isn't anything new. And it's, it basically translates into stray cat or one that is detached. So it's a slur any way you slice it. So this man had nothing but hate in his heart. Now, in all fairness to Black women, a lot of Black women stood by R. Kelly. A lot of Black women stood by Chris Brown. A lot of Black women stood by Michael Jackson. I'm just saying, like, we got to talk about all of it. We got to talk about all of it. However, this right here, a lot of times, and in all fairness to R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, and Chris Brown, I still think that's a different day than what is happening right now. Because right now there's some type of contest where they're trying to get one of those Roland Martin dildos you had so conveniently in your database there, Jeff, where they're trying to, phallically measure up against a man in everything that they think we are allowed to do, and thus they take it too far. It's like if you tell the kid, yeah, you can have some ice cream, and they just take the whole tub of Haagen-Dazs and start going, you know. So
I think we missed one piece though. I think whenever you target it, when you expose Chris Brown, Michael Jackson, people like that, I think we just shined a light indirectly on what the contrast between who's going to get disdain from women and who's not.
What's
I
the
think
difference?
you're highly likable to the point where most of the women want to fuck you.
Oh.
And you can get off of the hook.
More about that, sir, because Dave, you're right. There are these rare.
So you're saying, Darwin, that if you apply the good wood in a manner that's pleasing to them, all infractions will be removed.
You just gotta
be desirable enough, whereas though it doesn't matter what you do.
Right.
Wow.
And also hit it from the left.
That's true. And because I always say that's one of the things I
did y'all make sure Mumia? Sorry, AJ, I apologize.
No worries.
Did y'all make sure Mumia took his medicine before he came on? Like, has anybody checked his AARP membership to make sure it's still active? Because he has been like the past few weeks, he has been acting very, very odd as of late. It's starting to scare me a little bit.
Well, when you stroke it from the left, that's when their legs start tripping.
Sir, your sexual Tourette's is really starting to concern me, sir. We have to get a hold of your sexual Tourette's. Jeff, we might need to have an intervention.
Sexual Tourette's is crazy word.
What else would you call what he's doing? You got to hit it from the left. Like, what?
The only time you supposed
one time I took a chick by the train tracks and said, "How I ain't paying you nothing." Yeah, give me the chicks and get out. And I made that whole walk. Like, wait. Bro. By the way, the Black Manosphere Conclave is happening in Vegas. Like, wait.
Oh yeah.
The only time you're supposed to hit it from an angle.
Here comes
is
Darwinism.
If you're recording from that side.
It's a Darwinism.
Yo, we need a segment on the show called Darwinisms.
I mean, that's the only
social Darwinisms.
But think about it though. All you got to do is be highly likable by most women to the point where they want to lay down with you, and you can get off the hook. In fact, this happens within the relationships.
You know who you sound like right now, Darwin? You sound like that guy. If you're famous, you can do anything. You can just grab him in the pussy. That's what you sound like. I'm just letting you know. Just figured you can let you know.
Is it? I hope not.
I'm just saying that's what if you famous, you desirable. You do anything.
I'm gonna clean my act up, man.
Oh man! And then number two, when we were just discussing, actually before we let me do it now. Let me see. So this was the Sha'Carri Richardson situation. And yeah, I remember this. I think TMZ was the first ones to break it. And we talked about this before about guys that just kind of take it for whatever reason. And I'm wondering, from y'all lens, before these women take your life, like, look at this. And I'm very curious, because even when I took the domestic violence course back in college, in hindsight, I didn't think about the fact that at the time, I think most of us in the class were only thinking about it through the female lens of the female being the victim. And I wonder what it is about the psychology of men that have the means and ability to overpower, to leave, and choose to stay and endure this anyway. Even with this case with this guy, like, why do y'all think these guys end up staying as long as they do it? And again, let's move past
something
why
wrong.
Him staying
you did something wrong, man. Look at that. What? Listen, let's just be honest. Ain't no woman gonna do that to a man unless he did some shit he ain't had no business doing. I hope it don't sound like I'm caping. I hope it don't sound like I'm pandering. But I don't know a woman that's constantly pushing you up against pillars and shit because you got the wrong fucking seat and you ain't sitting next to me or some shit.
Like, for me, it's almost no different with the women when men put their hands on women, and you'll have these people say, "Well, what did she do?" And I'm like, sometimes she really didn't potentially do anything.
Yeah, but every time that a woman, I mean that a woman hits a man, every time that a woman divorces a man, cheats on a man, they say, "What did he do?"
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So Jeff, there's two things: why he stayed and why he didn't fight back are two different things, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Now we know why he didn't fight back, and that's because men are not afraid of women. We're afraid of the system, that they can get on the phone and call 911 and you know what I'm saying? That's what happened. That's what we're scared of. These women,
unnecessary sound effect.
Yeah, that was horrible. We should never play that again.
Sorry, guys. They throw the term intimidated around. I intimidate men. You don't intimidate anybody. That's the one thing about modern women that drives me nuts. They actually think that they physically intimidate us. It's like, no, if I'm turning around and walking away, it's because I don't want you to get on this phone and get a bunch of dudes wearing blue and ruin my life. Now, why he stayed, why men stay through this, is because honestly, I think that some dudes either have low self-esteem or they just think that they can fix her. They're these guys that, I love her, man, I can fix her, man. You know what I mean?
No,
and they think
man, that's not what it is, y'all. Come on, man. Have y'all not been in a fight with y'all significant other and she got batshit crazy? The reason I'm gonna just be honest.
Well, go ahead, Darn. Tell us about your lifestyle. Let's
I want to hear more about this.
I want to hear more about this.
Punches like prime.
He's already got his white beater on, so
peekaboo style.
Listen, I've been in a situation in the past where my woman hit me up across the head, and people was wondering why I stayed. They only saw the side where I was getting chastised or she was trying to hit me. But dog, they didn't see the reason why she got mad.
Nah, I don't think there's any reason.
Bro, I ain't never been a woman that just want to hit me for no fucking reason, bro. I got caught up with some shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing.
You know what it is? Actually, I'll say it this way, Darwin. I think in instances like that, men are socialized to think if we cheat, if we lie about money, if we piss her off about something, that's a justification for why women can put their hands on us. You do know that I'm like, we're socialized to have, like, you, even when you said it earlier, you was like, well, what did he do? Like, she's not just going to do this. And I'm like, I almost don't care what he did and what he said if he didn't do it to her. If he didn't threaten her, if he didn't put his hands on her. Because the reason why I'm saying this is I think that women, we give them excuses being the weaker sex. So this is how you get your car on fire. This is how you get your clothes burned up. This is how you get them stalking you in the workplace, because we think that there's justifications out around, well, I'm hurt, so now I can abuse you.
But
it'll end up in us being made. I'm not saying she was justified for doing it. I'm saying that is the catalyst for the energy directed toward me. Now, I'm not saying she was right. I'm not saying she was wrong. I'm saying there is no reason for a woman to behave like that without a motive. And I'm just pointing at the fact that, hey, look, in my situation, the reason why I gave her grace or even endured whatever came after my infractions is because I was in the wrong. You get what I'm saying? So like, I'm like, you know, I cheated on her. Okay, I get it. I'm not going to just leave her because she found out I cheated and hit me, because she penalized me for breaking my word. I'm not going to just walk out of her. I'm going to deal with it. But if I ain't cheat on her and she doing that shit.
But if she cheats on you, can you hit her back then afterwards?
Okay, so you changing the whole conversation.
I'm just saying.
There's a good equality.
There you go.
Ask the question again, because I didn't hear you.
You capered, dog. Go ahead, brother.
I'm just saying, you know, if the penalty for cheating is her hitting you and she cheats, can you hit her back then?
If she cheated on me, I don't do the same thing she do. If she cheated on me, I'm out. I'm just talking about, I'm not trying to make this a tit for tat and flip it. I'm just pointing at the fact that there is a motive for somebody to behave like that. I'm not saying that it's justified. I'm just saying that there has to be some particular reason to call somebody to be up in arms. And I'm saying I've been in situations like that.
What I'm arguing, Darwin, is the same way you've been in situations with your girl where she's going off about something that doesn't even make sense why she's upset about it. It just doesn't add up. That's how some of these situations actually unfold, believe it or not. It's not always like an actual antecedent. Sometimes it's just like they just can get set off about something else. You just
agree with that. I mean, I wish I could, but I would need you to give me more details.
Look at all the women now who are abusing alcohol, vaping THC, SSRIs, right? Perimenopause for all these women now. All these chemicals from the hair products and skin products, the hormones. A lot of women, violent arrests are up between women ages 18 to 39. Like, I forget the actual stat, but it's the only population where violent arrests.
What was the motive for her to hit you? Because she was on postpartum or some shit? What you say?
No, but that's an example, and I'll give you a clear-cut example of exactly what he said. When women are on birth control, it can actually significantly influence their hormones, and it can set them off where you didn't actually have to do. Without them being on that, you could just be doing your normal routine in life, and y'all could have your normal disagreements or whatever, or different views on things, but she can be amped. This is like, imagine a guy on steroids who goes through roid rage, right? So I'm saying that there's also other factors at play where it's not always like you actually did anything.
Sometimes, okay, so listen, I agree. I'm not going to sit here and say there's definitively no other reasons why. I'm open to all exceptions and all extremes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying most likely, like if you look at the case, the video where you showed us, where Sha'Carri Richards was pushing that man, I don't believe that was because of some fucking medicine side effect or some shit like that, or she looked at her phone and it was broken and she just took. I think that something happened. She found out, and this is a part of the story that we never really get to see, because those couples tend to continue their relationship and they don't want to put their business out.
Now, I can't just think that a man's always at fault. And guys, I say press charges. If she won't leave your house, press charges. If she puts her hands on you, press charges.
Are you insinuating that I'm saying he's at fault?
He's not saying he's at fault. He's saying something happened for her.
I'm just saying something happened to cause her energy.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how y'all don't agree.
And again, I'm going to even give you an easier example. There's been men that stressed at work and takes it out on their kids and their wives. There's men that stressed about money problems and they take it out on the people around them. And as somebody who even grew up in that environment, nobody did anything. Sometimes it was what happened before you got here. And that's the missing piece where it's like, yeah, that made what you just said with this video, maybe 90% of the time, something probably did happen. She saw something, he said something. I agree with you. I'm just saying that there are instances where people literally are taking it out on people who they know won't fight back. Whether it's because
let me see where your mind is.
Hold on. Yeah.
If you were to guess what the hell it was, what is the first thing that come to your mind?
Probably another female.
Thank you. That's all I'm trying to say. That probably was, because I heard about him. I heard he was fast. The black women say he was very charming. He's probably getting some pussy from somewhere else, bro.
Listen,
are they married?
No,
no. And real quick, Dave, before you go, before you go, let me read some of these super chats.
Oh, he was getting some, bro. I'm gonna go on the record. That man was getting some ass from somewhere, and she found out.
We're trained, keeping caveman. Thank you for the $5. We're trained from little boys when our sisters would hit us. We are told you better not hit her back. It's conditioning. I think Darwin thinks this is the ladies' table talk panel. He's about to break into his rendition of how does it feel respectfully. Thank you for the $5, good sir. Darwin, why does a woman have a reason for hitting a man, but not for fighting another woman or worse, hitting her children? Oh.
You want me to answer that?
Huh. Yeah.
Why does a woman have a reason for hitting a man, but not for fighting another? Who said she didn't have a reason for fighting another woman or worse, hitting her child? I never made that claim, so I don't know why he's. Wouldn't we call this a leading? Is not loaded, right? Is a leading question, right?
It's leading.
That's more, yeah.
It's leading, but is there a reason? So is there always a reason for why a woman would hit her child, or does she sometimes take it out on the child just because they're in
I
proximity?
don't think it's always. I can't say we can't be speaking absolute. We'd be disingenuous for doing that. But I would say the likelihood is because of the kid was being disobedient. But we do compensate for cases where the woman is struggling to raise the kid alone and she's getting frustrated and the kid is crying and she start neglecting the kid, and that could be lead to abuse. So I'm not going to sit here and try to cape and say that's not the case.
Gotcha. Jeff St. James Lau's voice again. Thank you for the $2. Darwin. Dave hit it on the head. Social Darwinism segment. Okay, stay tuned. That is hilarious. No Fear Jahir. Thank you for the $10. Chris Brown was persecuted for defending himself against black women. Correct. He went a little further than defended himself. He went a little past that. I know she attacked him first. He did have scratches on his body and face, if I recall. But he beat her ass. That wasn't that.
Yeah, but this is the part where
he beat her ass, bro.
Hi, Dave Anderson. I've seen things you haven't seen. Let's just say, hypothetically, on Earth 2 for entertainment purposes only, there's a young R&B singer and another young R&B / island type singer, and they happen to be together. And let's just say that I may have or may not have seen said individuals, one take a phone out of a hotel jack and throw it at the other one's head and hit him. So when y'all say that, what I think that you're not understanding is when you have children who have all the money in the world and everybody is saying yes to them, and they do certain things because they have a hot island temper, and that's okay, going back to this reprehensible behavior. The other part of that comes down to there's certain people who will take something and take something and take something and take something until sooner or later straw meet camel's back, straw meet camel's back. And then when that straw breaks the camel's back and the camel decides to take off one of his humps and haul off and beat her within an inch of her life, it's not that I condone that type of behavior. But when you look at it from that totality, as opposed to the image that Clive Davis and the media machine created, you can look at it like for what it actually is, because there's something very frustrating and emasculating about that type of situation. And I also think that Grace Jabari was another one of those cases when she was so quick to put her hands on Jonathan Majors. That wasn't the first time. So, we got to stop looking at the snippets that TMZ shows us and start thinking maybe this goes deeper. Because had you ever met said person who shall remain nameless that y'all said in the previous segment, nicest kids you ever want to meet, be honest with you. And to this day, this man 40 years old now, we still talking about what he did at 18.
Yeah.
But y'all again, there were only a couple of pictures when he was lumped up. Y'all didn't see him until after he healed.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Do you think that if there was the same footage of Chris Brown and Rihanna that we saw of Sha'Carri, how do you think the story would have went?
I think it would have gotten a softer sentence. He would have gotten time served and community service and probation and things of that nature. Now, I'm not saying that over time, due to certain proclivities he has, not unlike our good friend Obsidian, he kind of like that booger sugar a little bit. Maybe just maybe he developed the tendency for violence over time. It's all right. I done figured it out. That wasn't the medicine I was talking about, Mumia, earlier. I just want to make sure you got your Metamucil, your fiber is good, things of that nature. But yeah, like we got to talk about everything in its totality. And these folks out here be out here bugging, man. For real.
Black Light, thank you for the $10. I don't like to be chatting and not supporting. Thank you for supporting the channels and the panel. Don Drigo, welcome to the channel for sure and becoming a new member. And Cape and Caveman again, $2. Obsidian put a stop to this. He probably talking about Darwin, I'm guessing. Unless he's talking about some of the questionable statements that Obsidian has said. Tonight.
No, he probably talking about me.
Oh.
See, the problem with this is,
yeah,
and I don't think the chat is ready for that. And maybe because of how maybe you curated your audience over time, it's going to be hard for them to be open to objectivity. And I noticed that on YouTube whenever I was coming in the game, and I think Obsidian probably know too when he was coming in the game. Whenever you punch hard on one side of the extreme, you really do well with your audience. But the moment you teeter in the middle and be objective, just to try to like, okay, what if, you know, alternative perspectives, you know, the chat or people who are loyal to one side of the extreme, they kind of get uncomfortable with that. So I just want to let y'all know.
Cheyenne Brain. Sorry.
I'm here to fucking shake things up. You know, that's my job in this show, is to be extremely objective at any cost. I don't stick to no code or no nothing. So if just deal with it, you're gonna have to deal with it. And the good thing about it, if we get any amount of traction, the bitches are gonna come for me because I'm objective. You know, I'm opening the loophole for the hoes to go. So y'all might find y'all wife in the chat in a couple years.
So Darwin and Dave, with what you're saying, and shout out to Bebe again for $5 with this Chris Brown and Karuchi Trans situation.
Thank you, YouTube member.
Do you think there's something to that whole concept if they like him, if they're attracted to him, if he has a particular skill set, they're the exceptions to the rule, you think?
Yes. Have you not ever seen the captain of the football team? You're a therapist. How many times have you seen people get away with stuff? For example, Chris Rock famously said, if Clarence Thomas looked like Denzel Washington, there'd be no such thing as sexual harassment.
Sure.
So what are we talking about? On this earth, not in any alternative universe, the more attractive you are, the better your life is. In all ways. Listen, as somebody who I could have been a body double for Sherman Klump at one point in my life. So I can tell you now, life's a lot better under 200 pounds.
I'll add it. Hold on,
Jeff. You missed one thing.
What?
Chris Brown.
What?
What does most of his music and his lyrics speak to?
Fucking sex. Yeah.
The minds of the women.
I hate this man.
Listen, his lyrics is pretty much mentally having sex with him.
Are you saying that Chris Brown is literally mind fucking millions of black women?
He's mind fucking them with his music, bro.
Hold on.
You don't gotta touch him.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this. I'm going to pivot on my original point and agree to the caveat of what y'all just said, but I'm going to add an additional component to it. They have no problem when you have those guys that got them crazy rap sheets that beat up on somebody or was arrested, and then they go viral because they're so attractive. They're going viral because of women.
Yeah,
well, I think what Darwin said tonight, that may be, and what Dave just said, that's it. That's it. Those are the exceptions to the rule.
That's all you gotta do. So, if you ever get ready to commit a crime, just make sure you speaking to the minds of the women so they can protect you, nigga.
Damn.
Yeah. Y'all remember when Lizzo?
Damn.
Also,
it was 3 years ago. Lizzo, she had the picture backstage with Chris Brown. She was cheesing out next to Chris Brown. You remember that? And now all the sisters were just fine with it because they were supporting Chris Brown. But remember, Lizzo has a big white fan base because of the whole body positivity thing. So of course, all these white girls couldn't believe they were having a meltdown because she was sitting there, fawning over Chris Brown. And that's where you saw a divide in Lizzo's black fan base of women and her white fan base of women. Because the white women see Chris Brown, oh, he's just this evil dude who beat up on Rihanna, but he's still selling out concerts. And the black women who were supporting him were setting these white women straight. So,
hey, look, Rihanna wasn't FBA. Megan Thee Stallion FBA. If Chris Brown did that to an FBA black woman, I don't know.
Nah, because Rihanna's so big though. Rihanna's
like the second biggest star in the world, man.
Yeah. Rihanna's way too big.
Even
she's
then,
she's supported by everybody.
Okay, I'll yield on that.
Yeah, man. Thank you for the $2, Darwin. I fully respect you, brother. Just having fun. So yes, it's like you either have to be just famous enough, talented enough, or attractive enough to still be able to escape what most men cannot when it comes
to left one out. We left one out.
Why do you think I work out so much, man?
You work out so much because you're a vain son of a bitch that doesn't want to lose a supermodel hot wife. Next question.
What are you about to say, Dave?
We left out one.
He's right.
What?
Because thank you. So back to the actual show. We left out the most important one.
What?
If you have power, you're automatically attractive. Here's what I mean. I'll give you an example. I will give you an example, and I'm not trying to be funny. My agent at the time, when I was still in the industry, is a guy named Ward White. His other major client, aside from me, was Erykah Badu. Having said that, we were having a conversation one day, and he says, "You know what's funny? I was just thinking about this the other day. I was listening to you and Ricky." He says, you know, when you look at Genuine, now keep in mind it's like 15, 20 years ago. So this is not, you know, grandpa Genuine. This is still moderately well in shape, like almost like a Darwin level Genuine. So, you know, you look at Genuine, his name matches up. You know, you see these folks out here who Tank, it matches up. Who the hell told that Negro to name himself the Dream? Yet and still, Nivea, Christina Milian, and yo biatch. The Dream is a tiny little man. He kind of looks like a Monchichi, respectfully, but he don't look like a dream that any woman would really have, except he's got power and prestige. Lil Wayne, nicest guy you ever want to meet. Looks like a struck match had a baby with a roach now.
Jermaine Dupri
got a six-pack now. I heard he had like a stomach BBL or chest BBL.
I don't know.
Yeah, look at Jermaine
Not
Dupri,
BBL
man.
Wheezy.
He had a six-pack. I saw it on stage. I was like, this is crazy.
He is ripped like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Young Jock done got a six-pack. But that's the thing. If you got power, like somebody in the comments said James Brown, you know, wasn't attractive. Oh no, James Brown was very attractive. James Brown had 2 jets. James Brown had an entourage. James Brown had homes all over the country. They don't know what the hell he's saying. As long as he was taking them hoes to Nordstrom's, James Brown was dead sexy.
Magic
What did
Johnson,
Biggie tell you?
Magic
Black
Johnson.
and ugly as ever. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks. Rings and watch filled with rocks. Ike Turner is another one.
Rick James. Man,
No,
people
no.
saw listen. People saw the Dave Chappelle skit when he was talking when he was older. He was heavier set. But remember, in the 80s, man, Rick James was hitting all of the draws. All of it.
Eddie Murphy told me that man was coked out. That's how he had all the bitches.
And he was a musical genius and he had a lot of money. This is a man who revitalized a dead group called the Temptations.
Yeah.
Like, let's not play like Rick James was not what that was. Let's face it. Michael Jackson couldn't save Eddie Murphy's musical career. Rick James got him a hit while they were snowed in for 3 days.
How was Magic Johnson getting so many bitches?
Because he's Magic Johnson.
He wasn't attractive though.
He didn't need to be. He was famous, you idiot.
He was on TV, playing basketball.
He made Magic Johnson basically turned around the Lakers.
Yeah,
when he was a rookie.
Yes.
So yeah.
Cape and Caveman, thank you for the 5.
I mean, he was running the court as a very, he was running. He was basically running the point, like basically from the.
Not
from
to
the
mention, he named himself that on purpose.
He was 6'9",
just the alliteration
right?
in and of itself. Magic Johnson.
That's
then you
crazy.
find out that he was having so much sex with his Magic Johnson, and now he is the best-looking AIDS patient on the face of the planet because he had a Magic Johnson. You got to keep up with me, Darwin.
Yeah, status, man. That's just the thing. If women see dudes pulling crowds or people staring at him, there was a guy that I used to know in college. I tell this story. He had like a gimp arm. He had like a weird arm. You know what I'm saying? But he could play pool real well. No. He could play pool real well. He was a pool shark. So he would go to tournaments. Yo, but he would get chicks. He would pull girls. Because he would have a whole crowd. He would go to a bar and he would start playing dudes for cash. And then he'd have all this crowd and he would always take a woman home. Even get his arm.
Is crazy.
Never underestimate the power of the handicapped.
Caveman, thank you for the $5. Emasculating a man is when a woman becomes so egregious that in that moment he can't see her as a woman. he goes down to her level and acts as a woman. Oh, interesting. Thank you for the $5, good sir. And Miss Brown Eyes, thank you for the $20. Hello, gentlemen. You are doing an awesome job. Love your perspectives.
She
And
wanted to
everybody,
give me. She wanted to say me, but she didn't want to.
here
She
he
ain't
go.
thinking about.
Here he go.
Bro.
That's on. What's that? Is that on Darwin's side or Dave's side? Whose side that on?
I think that's. I'm pretty sure that's on my side.
Yeah, that's on Dave's side.
Yeah, that's
Thank
on my
you,
side.
Brown Eyes.
Oh, my bad. Straight up.
Yeah. Listen.
Thank you, Brown Eyes, for that.
Can you get super chats anymore, Darwin?
Damn, nigga.
Hold on, Dave.
Bang, bang!
That was a call for Dave.
That, Rick James, bitch.
Blue Bronco, thank you for the $2. Must read author Iceberg Slim Adopt Pimp Life. I haven't read that. Yet. And then real quick, I wanted to bring back up the race component before we wrap things up with this discussion. I just mentioned it at the beginning of the show when it came to people comparing and contrasting the Carmelo Anthony situation, how that unfolded and how he ended up with 35 years versus her who was sentenced to 6. So I'm going to play this clip and then I want to hear y'all thoughts about that and why there's such a massive discrepancy between the two. I personally understand why. And I'm very interested to see what y'all think. So let's watch this.
They're going to push this. Oh, Carmelo got 35 years. Courtney Clenny got 6 years. God damn. You know why she got 6 years? It's called the plea deal. It's called the plea deal for manslaughter, which Carmelo was supposed to go for. Which Carmelo, all the money that they raised for his counsel, the $500,000, that's what the lawyer was supposed to, a plea deal. Get him a plea deal of manslaughter, not take a murder to trial.
Nope.
That's what you get when you go to trial in Texas as a black kid who stabbed a white kid at a track meet, who told police he shouldn't have put his hands on me. I warned him. No, that means that's not self-defense. 35 years when you blow trial. Yeah, he would have got 10 years if he would have pled out for manslaughter. And they're pushing this. Like, yo, the system is broken. That's what it's called, accountability. When you hurry up and say, oh, no, I did that. But let's get this deal. I did it. But manslaughter. Not take it to trial. Black kid, white kid, Texas. And you playing with people time. Trial, it costs. That's why you get your boot smoked when you go to trial. Black people, do y'all notice? Do you notice? Like, and now they promoting this. Like, oh, the system broke because she got 6 years. She did the smart thing by hurry up. Let me get that. Let me take that. Not go to trial and get my head smoked.
Spouses in these pictures are dead. All the white spouses alive. Telvin Osborne said he would rather F a dog than F a black woman, but the dog gotta be white. Christian Obumsumi, whatever his last name is, did nothing but the black spouses in these pictures.
We already saw what he had to say. What do y'all think about how some people are viewing and covering this? And do you think those people were aware that he didn't take a plea when it was offered from the beginning, and why there's such a massive discrepancy in their sentencing? What do y'all think about this?
As a person who's lived in Texas for a very good part of my life, yeah, I agree with the young homie Gotham Ghetto's Gospel on this. You wasn't going to win. You decided at whatever moment that you felt so threatened that you jabbed old boy with a knife at a track meet, and Texas started Texasing. There's a saying in Texas, it says, don't mess with Texas. There are still sundown towns in Texas. And when you're in an uppity area in Texas and you get on body cam footage and say, oh, it's not alleged, I did it. I understand you're emotional. He put his hands on me. Guess what? You make it damn near impossible to put up any type of defense because you blew the first rule. You have the right to remain silent. My father, a cop. My uncle, a cop. My aunt, a cop. My brother, God rest his soul, a cop would all tell you I don't care how nice they are to you. I don't care what they say. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're covered in blood and got the weapon on you. Shut up. Name, rank, serial number, and that's it. He screwed himself out of any possible logical defense. His best move was to take a plea deal. Was that excessive? Yeah. Was that 35 years excessive? Yeah, it was. Because I think the kid still had more life to live. However, he effed around and he found out because he put himself in a situation because his daddy didn't do a good job of letting him know how our world actually operates.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
My uncle and my aunt, they're both NYPD captains, and they told all of us, keep your mouth shut. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. It's so bad. These people, they're so ignorant. Like, people in general don't realize the phone calls from the jail are recorded.
For that very reason.
From the jail are recorded. Did y'all see that girl who was drunk and she hit the bride on her wedding day on the golf cart and deleted her? She killed her. There's a channel that actually has this girl's video phone calls from the jail. She's bragging about how she's not gonna get in trouble, and literally it's her talking into a camera, snitching on herself. People do not understand anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And if he should have taken that deal, and I think that's one of the things that once people hear that, they really start asking those questions and saying, "Wait a minute, didn't we give them all this money for a lawyer? Why didn't
they got the bargain
him?
basement lawyer? Yeah. They took the 75 grand lawyer as opposed to the 500 grand lawyer."
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I'm in agreement. And Obsidian, I want to know your thoughts about this whole. I think multiple things could be true at the same time. And Dave and others could be right that it absolutely maybe have been a little bit excessive. Maybe it could have been 10 years less than what they gave him, or even 15 years less than what they gave him. But not taking a plea deal with a situation like that, and then black people just look at the end product and say 35 years, 6 years, not factoring in one took a plea deal and one took legal counsel that said, take this to trial.
Right.
After what he said and told the police on body cam. Because remember, he said this in front of the officers on body cam. So they're like, well, maybe he got as long of a sentence because of what he looked like and a variety of different factors, but he could have gotten a third of that just by taking the plea deal. Obsidian, what do you think?
I think that the Carmelo Anthony case needs to be reopened. I've been quietly following it. There's real concern that there could be a mistrial here because the judge presiding, there seems to be reason to believe that he, was basically biased. And so there could be a grounds for mistrial, and I hope that they pursue that. But what this OnlyFans case clearly shows, and Jay was right about this. Women are getting away with murder, man. I mean, remember what's her name? Casey Anthony. Remember that case?
Yeah.
She killed her daughter.
She killed her daughter.
I mean? So yeah, I mean, and to be fair, yes, there is some kind of racial element at play because many of these cases feature white women, young white women. So there's that. But yeah, there's definitely something amiss with all of this. And the Carmelo Anthony piece, they need to throw it out, retry it, start all over from scratch. This situation, this OnlyFans situation. Wow. Hold
on, AJ, and I want you to jump in right after this. Have y'all peeped the high volume of high profile cases of all these women taking the lives of their children and using mental health and what's it called? Postpartum and all this other stuff. And I'm like, if anybody's getting away with murder, It's women right now.
Yeah.
And again, I what you just said, I actually agree with. I think that there's probably more, not just probably. We already know they get lighter sentences than men anyway. Like that's just statistically proven. And I think what we're seeing now when we look at something like this is, yes, not taking the plea deal absolutely can hurt you and harm you. But with Dave, what you said was, if he took the plea deal, we still wouldn't believe that he would get anything close to what we still would think he would get more time.
Oh, yeah.
We still, and I'm like, and the only logical reason I could think, remember, she said self-defense, he said self-defense. He stabbed, she stabbed. Both people are gone. Even if he took a plea deal, minimum 10 to 15.
Right.
Minimum 10 to 15.
Now, did she do it in a public place in broad daylight in front of witnesses and cameras?
It make it worse. It make it worse. It did make it
Because
worse.
isn't that kind of, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, open and shut?
Did make it worse. Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, no, don't get me wrong. A white woman in America is definitely going to have some advantages in the legal system. I mean, it's her system.
Yeah.
Like, I think certain things are just a given, you know. I'm going to say some off the wall stuff, and then Darwin's going to say even some more off the wall stuff. Jeff is going to sit back and act like the person that threw his rock and hides his hands. And Obsidian is definitely going to say, you know, something sexually Tourette's related any minute now. That's just how the show goes. Like, those are facts. I don't think we really need a rundown on how this thing happens. Just like we don't need a rundown to know that a white woman in America committing a crime like that is going to get got. But again, this is a person who went out of his way to disparage black women. So I look, respect to everybody, but
and real quick from my mods, if any of my mods find at was it L.S8904, if y'all could boot that person, would greatly appreciate it. I don't see them as of yet, but if y'all see them, feel free to boot them. And AJ, what were you about to say?
Yeah, you guys ever heard of the Ken and Barbie killers in Canada?
Oh, I forgot about that.
You remember? It was the guy and his wife, and they were kidnapping young girls. They were both white, and she was helping him do it the whole time. And then he got life. He's never getting out. And then she made a deal so she could snitch on her husband. I think she got like 8 years. But when they went to the house and found the evidence, they found the tapes and realized that she was actually like directing the videos and telling him what to do to the girls. But they couldn't retry her. So she only got like 6-7 years, and he's in jail for life.
Yeah.
So, and this
Double
is
jeopardy.
Like 7, 8 women, 10 women that they were doing this to, and she got a slap on the wrist, and he's in jail for life. They should both be in the ground. So if that doesn't show you how white women get treated in this system, man, I don't know what does.
Feather Moon, thank you for the $2. Even Faison Love has a baby mama. Dave is right. Damn, point proven. Damn, point proven.
And I can tell you, Faison Love stinks. He looks like he smells. I'm sorry, he smells like he looks. But I digress.
Cape and Cave, man. Thank you for the 10. This is the original group that feels like that's funny considering that last comment. Feels like a dignified men's secret club panel. Keep it coming, Selected Brother Jeff. Jay is a great addition. Appreciate you, sir, for that.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that.
Feather Moon, thank you for the $5. Just my respect to the panel. Keep up the good work, my brothers, for sure. Thank you, sir, for that. Philip Jameson, thank you for the 5. With all due respect, I have no love for ops. All these super tether mouths who get off by they pale demons deserve it. My Jesus, karma is real. FBA all day. And again,
I love it.
And Dave, at some point, not obviously tonight, but I do want us to do a much deeper dive into like this FBA discussion and why this keeps coming back up. Because I feel like they keep bringing this up because they want to tell us how we are allowed to identify ourselves.
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't know why they think that that's actually going to happen.
No, they think it's going to happen because they're entitled. I'm respectfully, and I'm going to be real quick on this. A lot of these folks, you know how like when we were kids, they say the Asian folks were the model minority? Now they've got black people without all the guilt, the slavery, the Jim Crow, the systematic oppression, the media manipulation. They got black folks with absolutely no scars on them, and they can give them the immigrant experience. And now they're the replacement killers. And so now, if you can't automatically just sideline your way in, like the fact that people are now taking my song, which went number 10 on Spotify, by the way, Tether Mouth, in the lexicon.
Nice.
It's a good day. So they're doing this to make sure that it's a gaslighting technique. Like, oh, we're all black. This is divisive. Yeah, so is the Dominican Republic and Haiti. So is Jamaicans saying that they don't want Haitians in their country. So are the South African black people kicking out the illegal Nigerian immigrants from their country. So when we talk about all this division, where's the division throughout the so-called diaspora? Because it ain't we all black over there.
Yeah.
So they're doing it here because we're the best of the best, and they want to be us. Because say what you want about this country, and she has her problems, a ton of them, but all of them want to be us because we live in the lap of luxury. We don't have a bushmeat crisis over here. We're not making lake mosquito burgers. We're not making mud cookies.
That's crazy.
These are all real things you can Google when you've got nothing better to do. So when you have countries like Bali, for example, that has a median income of about $1,200 a year per person. Damn. Yeah, I would want to try and replace us too.
Dave, so
hold on, let me read these in AJ. You can jump in. Gito Planet, thank you for the 2 jewels and 100 for sure. And then Rod Martin for the $5. I have been living in DR for 1.5 years. Western feminism is strongly affecting the country. It is experiencing the highest domestic partner murder. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Wow. That's scary to hear. Thank you, sir, for that. And then Nathan the Graythan, thank you for the $19.99. I know of a situation where a woman claimed postpartum where her child was in kindergarten. Some women have weaponized some have weaponized mental health, brother. If you only knew. But thank you, sir, for the $19.99. This is getting egregious with this whole postpartum thing and how far they're stretching it out as well. And then Jeff St. James's loud voice, $5. Are we going to cover the Marcellus Wiley case potentially next week? I just found out, I think yesterday, that all charges were dismissed. So I think next week we may do a 2-parter where we cover that situation, how people reacted to it, how it was covered, and then also this ongoing FBA situation. So that may be what we tap in for next week. And then last but not least, Janae, thank you, sis, for the 440 jewels. Unk alert. Appreciate you.
She likes this unk. That's my wife. She likes this unk. That's what it is. She's giving me an alert. I already know what time it is. Thank you for them jewels, baby.
So Dave is going to be logging off in the next 60 seconds. So AJ, please make your.
I'll be back in 3 minutes. Don't even worry. I'll be back in 3
minutes. 5 minutes of punk, huh?
No, not 5. 3. 1 to take my clothes off. 2 to handle business. I'll be right back. Don't even.
Excuse me, hold on. Sorry about that, Janae. AJ,
what I'm going to say, Dave, about the delineation thing. You know how a lot of the feminists want to they want equality when it's beneficial to them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Non-American blacks, non-FBA, they want blackness when it's beneficial to them. Mm-hmm. So they want to say, oh, yeah, we shall overcome and we're this and that. But then, oh, no, we're not lazy like you American blacks. We're not. They want to march with us and have this whole they want to benefit off of what we built here. But then have the same way to differentiate us and then talk pejoratively about us. Oh, yeah, well, that's just because y'all are lazy. That's just, you can't have it both ways. That's my problem. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. You can't claim blackness only when it's beneficial.
That's why I wrote the tether doctrine, because we're not having this no more.
Yeah, and Dave, when we cover this next week, you got to bring them PowerPoints or send them over, because I think
I got them. Mine, and by the way, everybody, I promise you, next week my PowerPoints, unlike Jeff's, will be dildo free.
That was so crazy.
That's acceptable trigger warning right there.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Listen, I'm traumatized. We're gonna have to work through this. Talk to my therapist again. Jesus Christ.
Obsidian set me up. So listen, everybody. We hope that you guys enjoyed these men's tables. We do have. I do know that there's maybe some people on the panel that may have some different announcements to make. So I'm gonna give that opportunity for everybody to do that if they have any particular projects, things that they're working on, things they want to announce. For sure. And then last but not least, if you have not done so and you've been watching all this time, please make sure that you make wherever you're watching from, make sure you like this, make sure that you share it, make sure that you're a subscriber, and feel free to become a member of any of our respective platforms that you see on the screen. To close us out as far as announcements and anything y'all want to let folks know about, Obsidian, Darwin, AJ, and Dave to close us out.
Yes, the Black Manosphere Conclave is on. We're going to be in Las Vegas. All of the information is on the website, www.blackmanosphere.com. We're working behind the scenes to get a lot of really great people that's going to be there to, bring some really great information and everything. We got the website is newly revamped. Everything is there. We're going to be at the Hampton Inn Tropicana. So that location has been secured. All the information on the website, blackmanosphere.com. Thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate it.
Okay. What about you, Darwin?
No, I was actually going to say that. I was going to ask about that. I got to check my emails. I think I got some emails about it. But yeah, most definitely. Y'all check me out on TikTok. I go live every now and then, and Instagram and stuff. That's where y'all can find me. That's all really I got to say.
Yeah, I actually got to start using TikTok starting next month.
You missing out on
I know.
Jeff, but I'm take that Quiet Storm voice over to TikTok and start, hey, all right. Evening therapy with Jeff.
So
hold on, Jeff. I hope y'all in the clear because I did hear YouTube messed up. I mean, not messed up, but they made a drastic change on monetization. But I think y'all are good, right?
Oh yeah, we're good. We're grandfathered in.
We're grandfathered in. It's a whole new upper standard.
Yeah,
they raised the bar to
because of the AI swap channels. That's why.
Yeah, the AI swap channel. There's something going on with them, but then they also up the entry point. It's like way higher now than it was before.
I'm glad I got in just under the bell.
For real.
People will make these AI swap channels, whatever, or even like make an AI that copyrights other people's channels. So let's just say that they'll put all of Jeff's videos into AI and then take his scripts and just put it to pictures, and then it'll get monetized and get long enough. They'll make money. It'll get booted off, and they'll do it again and again and again and again and again. So that's why they're making it harder for you to get monetized. Or you got to do more views for shorts and then more hours of watch, and that'll discourage these AI things that are just spamming these channels. So
yeah, and I have heard people complaining and saying they're still in my content. It's literally my content, but it looks like it's somebody. It looks different, but it's literally my script. It's everything.
For everyone who's listening, you have to say your channel's name multiple times in your video, because oftentimes these thieves aren't
paying attention.
They're too lazy to actually go in. So if Dave said at the business bully on YouTube like 3 times, it's gonna be in the script. You know what I'm saying? So there's 3 channels that I watch who do longer form stuff, and they say their stuff like 6-7 times in the video. So
Big Mo says Dave is winning based on that picture. Hey, okay, brother. Okay, brother. For sure,
yes,
for sure. And real quick, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna cover this up for a little bit, but your boy has something that I'm gonna be announcing probably in the next couple weeks or so. As far as
I know what that gray bar means.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I'm just doing a final little review.
Somebody got the proof.
Yeah. Also, in the building. But after a damn year, your boy is here. I can't say what the name is yet, but stay tuned, because once I announce it and get ready to do this tour, it's gonna be your boy gonna be busy. So your boy gonna be outside. Your boy gonna be busy, and I'm hoping that the people will receive it.
Just if you quote anything I ever said, just make sure I'm in a footnote in the back of the book somewhere.
Nobody is going to quote the whole stepdaddy tax thing. No one's quoting that. Stop trying to make fetch happen, sir. It's just
Yeah, listen, and I definitely quoted a hell of a lot of people that's appeared on the platform or who I've spoken to. So I'm very excited. I base so much of it on my experience over the last year and a half. So I'm excited to see what everybody has. And yes, it's going to be about relationships for sure. So stay tuned for that. And you know, we'll see how the people react and respond to it. So AJ and Dave, why don't y'all close us out?
Check me out on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and I go live Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thanks you all for having me. I appreciate you.
For sure.
Man. Love having you here, brother. Real quick, I'd like to tell everybody, of course, my YouTube channel is growing. We are doing amazing work every day on D.A.M.N. 10 a.m. to noon Eastern. Make sure y'all get my book, the Tether Doctrine. Is also my doctoral thesis. Y'all need to check that out. It has an audio book and an album with it, and it talks. But don't let the title fool you. It talks about the importance of Black delineation, what we need, and how we actually go about building the case for reparations. Follow me on all social media platforms at The Business Bully, and then on Sunday, I'm going to be having the conversation with Tasha K that most foundational Black Americans have not had with her in a real way.
Wow.
So she's going to get an education.
When is that?
Sunday. It's called the Tether Doctrine. Link is in my description.
When is it going to be?
Sunday, 7:30 Eastern, if I'm not mistaken.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm watching that.
That's going to be good. So everybody, please make sure that y'all support these men in all the different ways that y'all can, and show up to whatever events and things that they are launching. So everybody have a good day, a good evening. Make sure that y'all like and hype these videos, by the way. We know we got
the video.
Please hype the videos. It keeps it in the algorithm. And even if after you like it, make sure that you comment, because comments and hypes are the two big things that YouTube is looking for to boost it in the algorithm. So everybody have a good day, and we'll see y'all on the other side. Peace.